Okay, so you want the benefits of going into a sauna, but you're afraid because heat wipes you out instead of restoring you. Well, what does this tell you about your energy, safety, and why do some people need more support before they stress themselves, even if it's an infrared type of sauna? So in this video, we're going to talk about the sauna. We're going to talk about the use of methylene blue specifically to help make it much easier to tolerate. Because I know most of my patients want the sauna benefits. They want to feel better. They want to feel detoxed, in quotes. But heat wipes them out instead of restoring them. What does this say about their energy capacity and their safety? Well, I get it. We're all fearful of declining, of getting older, needing more help. Intolerance really does mean that there is something wrong. We need to address this. If you feel overwhelmed by heat, if you feel wired but depleted after getting into the sauna, you don't feel really recovered afterwards. Well, this is because even an infrared sauna is a stressor. It's not necessarily just recovery. It's increasing heat, which increases energy capacity and vasodilation. And stress requires available energy to do this. Sauna demands you have resilience, but it doesn't really create it in the process. So, what cells really need is the capacity to make energy, electron flow, redox balance, without having to feel like you're overwhelmed all the time because your mitochondria, the part of your cell that makes energy, they can't make energy effectively if you have a lot of capacity issues already. This is where methylene blue can come in. Methylene blue is a fantastic mitochondrial redox cycler. It improves the amount of energy you can make in the mitochondria and help detoxify as well because it can work directly as an antioxidant at the same time. And so as a result of that, you have this methylene blue coming in to help with energy and detoxification. And so if you have a lot of detox capacity challenges, you're going to have more detox capacity in a sauna with methylene blue on board. And I've seen this actually in clinical practice where you actually see people feel kind of wasted and or tired or wired or just they can't tolerate the heat after they get out. But if you start using a little bit of methylene blue ahead of time before they get into the sauna, then all of a sudden they feel energy, they feel much better when they get out because they had both energy and detox capacity upgrades using methylene blue. Now, of course, this doesn't negate the need to really optimize the system, but in the interim, when you're working on optimizing energy production while somebody's in a sauna to fully benefit from going into a sauna, well, that's when you can use methylene blue. When you do this, heat feels more contained. It feels less depleting when you get out of the sauna. You get to shift from a threat signal because of increased energy demand without the capacity to actually feeling more relaxed after you get out of the sauna. So remember that intolerance of going into the sauna is really a signal that your system is just not having the capacity that it's required. Now, over the long term, it's really important to optimize your health. Look at foundational frameworks. I use one called Health Optimization Medicine. We have a nonprofit that trains practitioners on how to optimize health using this framework, the 7-module framework. You can check it out at homehope.org. But in the end, what we're really hoping to do is get people all over that hump and help them through the process. And doing that might require some additional cellular support. This is where methylene blue comes in, and it can be fantastically helpful in this capacity. Energy and redox capacities, or energy and detoxification. Remember, when you have toxins in the environment, toxins in your body, specifically your body's environment, how do we get rid of these things? Well, we can get rid of them through our skin when we sweat. That's only a small amount, actually. We have in our kidneys, in our liver, and we also have, of course, in our urine, right? And so, which is the kidneys, of course. And so you have these other ways of getting rid of toxins, but we have to be able to bind those toxins, through multiple processes in the body and help excrete those toxins. And sweating is a great way to do this, but it's not the only way. In fact, it's a smaller way compared to the other ways that I just mentioned. And so it's really important to optimize our detox capacity. Glutathione, for example, being a master antioxidant can be very, very helpful here. So the key really is to understand is that you fear not being able to tolerate the sauna because you feel wasted afterwards. But using something like methylene blue in the short run can be super helpful because you have that energy and detox capacity upgrade while you're getting into the sauna. You're increasing not only your sweating, but also your energy demands, your vasodilating, you're increasing lymphatic flow, which is all going to be stressing your detox system. So what methylene blue can do, obviously here, is work in the liver and help with the conjugation of various toxins and get them excreted better if those enzymes are working better because they have more energy capacity. So in the end, do not fear the sauna. Just make sure you're well supported. And one of the major ways to do that right now is by using methylene blue. The key with methylene blue is low doses, 8 to 25 milligrams, clean stuff, making sure you're not getting stuff off of Amazon. It's not well tested. And then understand also that this is just a temporary solution, where over the long term, your system should be able to tolerate the stress of being in a sauna. So the key is to make sure that you're well supported. Long term, I use health optimization medicine. Short term, I use methylene blue, I use light, I use grounding, I use obviously decreasing the stress response. These are all very important. This is just a video to talk about how specifically you can use methylene blue and the sauna together to make that sauna much more tolerable, and you feel better and more optimized and energized when you get out. Take care. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe below. My name is Dr. Scott Scher. Take care.